alignment ng unlock. Nagmula ngayon hanggang sa March. So napili namin ni Ma'am Tatahin mo kung nakapokus tayo sa assessment. Okay. So connected na rin po sa aral. So this is the effective use of assessment data to improve instruction. Usually, pag tayo ay kinukuha ng data, saan sa natin ito nilalagay? Ito kadalasan sa class record. O saan ang mga sources natin, saan ang source ng mga data. Yung mga output ng estudyante, doon natin kinukuha. So, good afternoon everyone. I'm your discussant today. And today we'll be discussing a very important topic for us educators. The effective use of assessment data to improve instruction. As teachers, we collect so much data from tests, from tests, assignments, and student works sa kanilang mga output. But the real challenge is how we use this data to make better decisions for our classrooms. Throughout this presentation, we will explore the types of assessment data, their benefits, the steps and strategies in using them effectively, the challenges we face, and practical solutions. Okay. For our introduction, we have what is assessment data? Why does it matter in teaching and learning? What is the link between assessment, instruction, and the student outcomes? Assessment is not just about giving grades. Set work, we have summative assessment, that is the test, final project standardized exam. We have the diagnostic assessment, that is the pre-test, skills inventories, and performance data. Those are the portfolios, presentations, and practical tasks. But there are only three main types of assessment. Three types of assessment data that we often encounter. First, we have the diagnostic data. So, ano itong diagnostic data? This helps us identify prior knowledge and readiness before teaching begins. For example, a pre-test before a new unit. So, bago ang, halimbawa, sa first grading, ay bako kung nagbibigay pa kayo ng this provide ongoing feedback so we can make adjustments immediately. Totoo naman yan. Pagkatapos mo mag-lesson, bigay na short quiz o question and answer, ay simpleng tanong hindi masagot, may problema based on that data. Pangatlo, we have the third one is summative data. Summative data such as the final exams or the standardized tests, which show us what students have mastered at the end of instruction. Okay? Each type has the purpose, and when used together, they provide a complete picture of student learning. So, nagkakaroon tayo ng class record, nare-record natin. Ano yung mga benefits niyan? Ma-identify natin ang learning gaps. Informs instructional strategies. Kikita mo kung sino-sino. Medyo paradigm shift tayo, magtago tayo ng style sa pagtuturo. Supports differentiation. Monitors progress over time. And guides curriculum improvement. Using assessment data brings so many benefits. Assessment data effectively. May mga steps naman. Paano i-assess ang data na nakukuha natin sa bata? We have to use data effectively para magamit natin yan. There are clear steps must follow. First, hindi ba parang daw to? First, we collect data systematically. What does it mean? This means assessment must be aligned with learning objectives. Second, pagkatapos natin makolekta, siyempre nandyan, i-analyze na. Okay, we analyze the data looking for patterns such as which item was the student got wrong. Bakit dito madalas nagkakamali? Tinuro ko sa ibang section, sa unang section, mali ang sagot. Tinuro ko na naman dito, mali na naman. Ano problema? Something like that yan sa pag-analyze natin ng data. Third, we interpret. Yan na, i-interpret na natin. Asking questions like, what does this tell us about my teaching? Ako ba'y nasa tamang daan pa o medyo iba na? About the student's learning. Fourth, we take action. Okay, nung na-interpret na, pagka-action na tayo, ano bang gagawin natin? Reteaching, providing interventions, hindi natin i-reteach, nagkakaroon ng interventions, or enriching lessons for advanced learners. I-reteach sa mahihina. Okay. Magkakaroon ng interventions. Pag magaling na, hindi naman lahat mahina sa isang klase, may magaling, doon tayo magkakaroon ng advanced enrichment sa kanila. Finally, okay, there are different ways to improve instruction once we analyze the data. One is flexible grouping. Grouping tayo, di ba? Okay, placing students with similar needs together for targeted instruction. Hindi sila, kung limang bata hirap sa ganito, pag-solve, sama-samahin mo na, individual mo na tuturuan para isang salangan na lang. Parang gano'n. Okay. Another is remediation or intervention program. Okay. Where struggling learners receive extra support.
Ako sige, paano sa mabili sa kung sige, paano mabigyan extra support yun?
Kaya lang i-remediation mo, intervention.
Hindi nga makasolve.
Yan ang gamit ng class record kaya data collection. We can move forward or give enrichment activities. So, magbigay ka ba word problems para ma-exercise, ma-practice nila ang critical thinking. Data also allows us to experiment with alternative teaching methods like project-based learning or peer tutoring depending on what the result reveals. So yun na po, nagkakaroon na ng peer tutoring kung talagang magaling na yung isang estudyante, bigyan mo na siya ng assignment, tuturuan mo siya, kahit na 5 minutes, bigkakali. Interpretation of result, mali-mali ang i-interpret natin, kulang na training ang teacher, limited time for reflection and planning. While data is very useful, we cannot ignore the challenges teachers face. One is data overload. We often collect too much information and don't know where to focus. Ang maligta ka na, pati problema sa bahay, nilista mo na, saan mo unahin. Another is misinterpretation of result. O paano mo i-interpret? If we don't analyze correctly, we may draw the wrong conclusions. There are also limited teachers training in data analysis. Not every teacher feels confident in handling large amount of information. Finally, we face time constraints. Wala tayo sa oras.